are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and this one is underway here on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Check. 55, come on, guys, 55. Watch the slant. Kill. Hey! Kill. Turn it up. Switch.
Now it's Newton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So now after the sack, Cam of the Patriots going to look up at a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Newton. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Brings up second and 9 at the 35-yard line.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. On play action, here's Tua. They'll roll him out right. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Oh, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. So he stopped for no gain. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
He steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to pass. Tua. Another catch there for Waddle. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Complete to Jalen Waddle. It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll get this out wide to Gaskin. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
As I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Second and goal.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Play action. Now it's Tua. Rolling to his right. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Matt Judon in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
It's 3rd down and goal.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Under pressure, they got him again. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Newton now to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Newton's throw complete there to Smith. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. They'll run the screen with Moss. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math, they did it well, and it works for them.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. He'll buy some time right. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
20.
Now the first carry for Zach Moss. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Gun. 20. Check 50.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Newton. Open man here, the tight end Henry. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Dolphins 3.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them.
At the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Check 31, check 31.
Gun, gun.
Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Eight. The twins.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? People say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no... One gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
the 45-yard line.
And just a yard to go here on second down. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Got a man open, that's Devontae Parker, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there for the Dolphins. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Dante Hightower on the stop. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now it's 2nd and 9. A play fake for Gaskin. Now Tua. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Tua getting it quickly out to Waddle. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Let's see where they turn on 3rd and goal from the 5. Tua going to run again. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 25 yards out. Sanders' kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Newton. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. It got his man, complete. The Patriots will take their third and final timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Newton. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Now 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Newton. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Tua. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Tua sets up to pass it. Open man is Waddle, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. To a hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Henry. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
20. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Kill.
On first down, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And the Dolphins will take over possession here up at the 34. 3 first-half interceptions now. And, Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, there were 3 talking points.
And he works free. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big play there for Miami. And, CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, that would get a wide-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
3rd down and 10 yards to go.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And again, it's Tagovailoa. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Newton. He'll swing this out to Moss. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
From the gun, here's Newton. Quick slant here to Smith. And blocked down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the counter, Hunt. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Here's Gaskin, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. On play action, here's Tua. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. Now Brian Flores is going to take a chance here as he'll throw the red challenge flag. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They get this out wide to Gaskin. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down. The kick by Sanders is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Sliding out of the pocket. And now here's another interception. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Dolphins are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try.
The ball comes out. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that because now the nerves starting to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 3.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. New England on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Play action. It's Newton. Steps away. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And touchdown! Sammy Watkins. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Pats have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score.
Patriots 14. Jake Bailey to kick off for the Patriots.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action, now it's Tua. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Matt Judon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Cam's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Patriots, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Wilkins just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They fake the give. Newton. And this one complete to Smith. And he's got room. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Zach Moss, his 6th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Patriots are back out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 5. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Complete to Miles Gaskin. It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Dolphin first down.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Joe Williams. And the Pats have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
At their 48-yard line.
They'll run again with Hunt. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Newton. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return, and the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now Tua. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And this secondary is well aware that they're going to have to protect against shots like that, because this offense, they're desperate for a big play. But that was really nice work there to make sure it didn't get done.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa. Able to connect with Fuller. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
Tua. He's going to let it fly. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Tavon Young. What a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a win. And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here. Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback, because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the home team here, they do get the victory that pushes them over 500 for the season as they finish at 9-8. And that is maybe not exactly what